Howdy folks, and welcome back to War Thunder with the mighty Jingles, and holy shit, that's an E-100! Yes, that is an E-100. Yeah, War Thunder have been being very, very nice to me lately, and I'm certainly not complaining. They gave me this E-100 to test drive. Wow. Oh yeah, quick War Thunder video for you today. I only had this thing for 3 days. And Gaijin gave me this thing right before Christmas, like literally just before Christmas. So I didn't really get to use it for all of the 3 days because it was Christmas and I had better things to do. But I did have a go at it. And you know what? It's not bad. It's not bad at all. As you can see, it's the E-100 hull with the mouse turret and the 128mm gun. From the neck up, it's basically a mouse. But it's a much more mobile mouse, although, you know, it's no speed demon, it's no T-54 after all. And just by way of comparison, there's the mouse for you, and as you can see, same turret. And of course this was, well, I say historical, for a machine that was never built, but this was one of the proposed designs to use the turret that had already been designed for the mouse, and there you can see the E-100 stat card. So let's take a closer look at this machine, using Gaijin's built-in swanky 3D model viewer. I have to confess, I did have a bit of an oh my god moment when I was looking at the stats of the gun. I was checking out the penetration on the ammunition, and high explosive anti-tank ammunition with 100mm of penetration at point what? This is terrible. Oh my god, they've implemented a joke tank, and that's when I realised I was actually looking at the stats of the 75mm gun, which you can see there to the left of the main 128mm gun. Of course, it's a multi-gun tank. The E-100 and the mouse, because they share the same turret, had a 75mm range-finding gun. So, yeah. Don't panic, you have substantially more than 100mm of penetration with that 128mm gun. You get anything between 207mm of penetration at 1000 meters and 264mm of penetration at ranges of up to and including 100mm. Exactly the same as on the mouse. It's a very, very, very good gun. As far as your mobility is concerned, well, it is a 150-ton tank, but it has a 1200 horsepower engine. And it has a top speed of 40 kilometers per hour, although you need to be realistic about that, because it's a 150-ton tank. It's more mobile than the mouse, definitely, but you're not going to be beating any T-54s or Pattons in drag races. As far as the armour of the thing's concerned, it does seem to be pretty good. You can see the various different armour sections and thicknesses here in the built-in War Thunder 3D model tank viewer. However, it does share the same weaknesses as the mouse because it has the same turret as the mouse, and we're talking about the turret front here. I've lost track of the number of times I've been in the mouse, and while I've been reloading, a T-54 has pulled up right in front of me. He's aimed right at the front of the turret and just derped a PCR straight through, killing the crew, setting off the ammo racks, and so on and so on. It's a weakness with the mouse, it's a weakness with the E-100. However, because the E-100 is more mobile than the mouse, it should be easier, not easy, but easier to keep enemy tanks at sufficient distance where you can just kill them with the 128mm gun before they get close enough to reliably be able to do that to you. Or at least, that's the theory. So, how do you go about actually getting your hands on one of these E-100s? Well, that's the trick. Beginning on the 2nd of January, War Thunder are introducing player PvP tournaments, the War Thunder League. These matches will take the form of 3 versus 3 tank battles. You can either play in squads or you can enter by yourself. There's going to be a leaderboard attached to these tournaments, and the best players on the leaderboards will be awarded the E-100. Access to the first 2 of these tournaments is going to be restricted to League dog tag owners. What the heck is a League dog tag, and how can you get your hands on one? Oh, that's easy. You just buy one. There you go, the War Thunder League page. And the dog tag will cost you $6.99, and I believe that's in dollars, so convert that to whatever currency you use. And the way it works is the more people who buy one of these League dog tags, the bigger the prize pool for the League becomes. And as you can see, there are various different milestones. $10,000, unique camos are unlocked for various different tanks. They've already reached that. $15,000, the E-100 tournaments begin, and they've already reached that. In fact, they've already gone as far as $20,000, and they're not too far away from unlocking the $30,000 deathmatch stage of the War Thunder League. So that's how you get your hands on the dog tag in order to become eligible for just the first 2 of the tournaments, for which the E-100 is going to be given away as a prize to the top players. Anybody can join the subsequent tournaments, whether you own the League dog tag or not. So, to summarise, E-100, a reward tank given to the best players on the leaderboards in the War Thunder League. The first 2 War Thunder League E-100 tournaments are open only to players who have bought themselves a dog tag from the War Thunder League site, but subsequent tournaments are open to everybody, whether you've paid any money or not. Buying the dog tag just gives you more chances of winning one of these E-100s. So what's the tank actually like? It's actually pretty good. Remember, I'm a complete noob when it comes to War Thunder Ground Forces battles. It's been so long since I've played. But yeah, it's okay. Not an awful lot had happened up until this point in the battle. I've taken a couple of hits, all from long range, and suffered no damage other than, well, I'd had to stop and repair my tracks at one point. I haven't actually had the opportunity to shoot back at anything yet, but don't worry, we're going to. Air attack coming in up ahead. Mosquito. Start lighting him up with a coax gun. And that 75mm coaxial cannon, as well as the machine gun. I think I did actually get an air kill in this game, although this isn't it. And I'll never understand why people constantly try to ram tanks with their aircraft in War Thunder arcade battles. It doesn't work. You cannot ram a tank with an aircraft. It's just, there's no collision model available in which you can do that. And yet, I don't know. Now, the armour of this machine it's not impenetrable. As you can see, that's my first serious hit taken. That was actually a very, very good hit on my turret ring, which has also damaged the breech of the main gun. And of course, if your gun breech is damaged and you fire the gun, there's a risk that it's going to go off inside the turret, and that would be very, very bad, so I stopped to repair. Not entirely sure whether that was a hit from the Panther II or the Conqueror. The Conqueror, of course, has a gun that it didn't historically have. It's here in War Thunder equipped with a gun that the Chieftain had. Yeah, go figure. Anyway, repairs complete, although I do have an injured crew member. Take another hit, but no damage whatsoever. Move up, try to support this friendly, get into the cap circle, and here comes a Panther II. Score of hits. Nothing. Oh well. And bad news, T10. Although the Panther II's been taken out, so that's an assist. I start hitting this guy with the high explosive anti-tank ammunition from the 75mm coax, just waiting for the 128 to reload, and then plant one straight through, right through the centre of the turret front, and that takes him out. So there's my first actual kill. Awfully exposed out here, however. Probably going to start coming under artillery fire very, very soon. And there's that Conqueror again, and there's a T-54 on my flank. So yeah, I can't stay here. And I'm taking hit after hit after hit, but nothing's penetrating. Tracks are taking more damage from the T-54 on my flank. Try to hit him with the coax 75mm. And score a hit, damage a vision device, but that's about it. Okay, T-54 on my flank, I can't advance any further here, I have to fall back. And he's obviously called in an artillery strike. The E-100 seems to stand up very, very well to artillery barrages, however. I've never really taken a lot of damage from an artillery barrage. It's obviously got these side skirts which protect the flanks of the vehicle. But I did take a hit there, and it's damaged my gun again. So, yeah, this position is untenable. I've got a T-54 on one flank, I've got a Conqueror up ahead, we're taking an artillery barrage, which isn't going to help, and there's another enemy tank over on the right flank, so I'm going to fall back, I'm going to get this gun breech repaired again, keeping an eye on that T-54 working his way around the island, checking that there's nothing sneaking around behind me. Is it safe to repair here, do you think? Not convinced. Still vulnerable to flanking fire, and that Conqueror can still shoot me from here. And I really need to get this gun repaired, so somebody's obviously called in an artillery barrage on the island over there, hoping to flush out that T-54. I'm going to fall back so the Conqueror can't shoot at me, and angle the armour against the T-54, sneaking around the other side of the island there on the left. And now I'm going to start repairing the gun. Fully maxed out crew, it doesn't take long at all. Friendly tank heading over there on the island, although he is coming under fire, but he should keep that T-54 occupied. Repairs complete. Let's try to get up on the hill. Ooh, friendly's been taken out. pushing around that side. There's just... I'm coming under fire from 3 different directions. Untenable. Up here I can at least be safe from fire from the T-54 on the left flank. Oh, there he is. Can I make it? Can I make it? I think I can make it. This, of course, would take absolutely forever in the mouse. Oh, incoming, and yeah, tries to ram me. It doesn't work, guys. Stop doing it. I do appreciate the extra mobility that you have in this tank over a machine like the mouse, and the armour, while it isn't quite as good, is good enough. I'll take that little bit of extra mobility over slightly reduced armour protection any day of the week. And it is still very, very good armour. And in my experience, anyway, that's always been the problem with the mouse. It's always been a bit of a one-trick pony. It's got great armour, and that's about it. But the armour isn't good enough, because medium tanks wait for you to reload, and they zip out right in front of you, and they just plant one straight through your turret front. And it's an instant kill. So, you know, what good is actually having all of that armour? Obviously, it depends on the circumstances, but I find that just the extreme lack of mobility. All I'm hitting there is his outside mudguard and damaging his tracks. So, yeah. But yes, that extreme lack of mobility on the mouse is just... it's kind of like driving a really... It's like the T-95 in World of Tanks. Great gun, fantastic armour, but it's no good unless you can get it to where it needs to be. And I really need to kill the Conqueror. Bingo! Got him. Lovely hit. What's going on behind me? Oh, it's that T-54! Okay. M103 doesn't appear to realise he's actually getting shot at from behind. Alright, let's get this thing turned around. And... boom! Headshot. Nailed the T-54. That was very brave of him. Actually, that T-54 was pretty unlucky, considering that he did have the rear of 3 tanks and he didn't manage to kill any of them. That was really unlucky for the T-54. Now the M103 is making his move, so let's go and back him up. Killed the Conqueror up there. I know there was a Panther 2 up there earlier, but we killed a Panther 2 just around this corner, so I don't know if that was him. Oh, here comes an aircraft. Light him up with a coax, 75mm and the machine gun. Here he comes. Scored a hit. He's going to try and ram me again, isn't he? Yeah. But I did score a hit, so it counts as a kill. And now, unfortunately, the M103 that came around this corner ahead of me got nuked by that M103 up there. So, I'm lighting this guy up with the 75mm coax, firing high explosive anti-tank ammunition. It only has 100mm of penetration at ranges of 100 metres or less, which is about what this is. So, I'm just firing it as fast as the gun will reload. And while waiting, oh, we've done it! We've taken him out. We set his fuel tank alight. Hooray! And finished him off with a 128. I should probably, however, because he was burning to death, have saved the 128mm gun for this M46 pattern. And this is what I'm talking about. With this mouse turret, there you go. That's exactly how these mediums take you out in these machines, time after time after time. Right there, straight through the middle of the turret front. And it's almost always an instant one-shot kill on both this machine and the mouse. That's the weakness of this machine right there. And just by way of comparison, here's the mouse. And oh boy, this thing is slow. Even with the arcade physics model, and even fully upgraded as my mouse is, this thing is painfully slow. I can't even begin to express how horrible it is driving this machine with no modifications unlocked. It's just... no. I do honestly think the E-100 is a much, much better machine. It's just that little bit of extra mobility. I mean, when your armour... I'm not saying the armour's meaningless on the E-100 or the mouse, but the mouse in particular. It's definitely not meaningless. At long and medium ranges, it will allow you to shrug off a lot of hits that would kill other tanks. But, well, you can be taken out by high penetration APCR ammunition straight through the turret front, in both this and the E-100. And if that can happen in both machines, wouldn't you rather have the machine that has the better mobility? I know I certainly would. Check out the ticket counter, by the way, at the top of the screen. Looks like we got this game in the bag, yeah? You'd think so, wouldn't you? You can barely see the red tickets. But this enemy team refused to lie down. And that's bad news, because I'm going to have to get up into that cap circle if I want to attempt to save this game. And I'm in a mouse. It's just not fast enough. We were actually in severe danger of losing this game. Come on, go faster. God damn it. I really wish I had the E-100 again. I really, really do. Oh, let's just skip ahead to when I eventually get there. Just in the nick of time. Well, actually, not just in the nick of time. It's nearly 2 minutes later and somebody else has managed to get up here and recap ahead of me. And, hey, ground unit destroyed. And that's it. That's it. Mission accomplished. That's the mouse. You spend 4 minutes driving, take one shot, game over. Still. I do really like this E-100. I think it's a very, very good machine. As I've said numerous times throughout the course of this video, I'll take slightly worse armour than the mouse and have greatly increased mobility any day of the week. And they both have the same gun. But you do need to watch out for medium tanks in particular waiting for you to reload and then zipping out and planting one right into your turret front, which generally speaking kills both this machine and the mouse every time. Keep that turret angled while you're reloading and it should be good. So that's the E-100, going to be available beginning on the 2nd of January for War Thunder League players. You can take part in the first 2 3v3 League tournaments by purchasing yourself a War Thunder League dog tag for $6.99, or you can keep your money, wait until the first 2 tournaments have been completed, and then anybody can take part in the subsequent tournaments, and the best players in these tournaments will be awarded an E-100. Hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.